Let's recall the past. Mental health, a fragile thread, but we'll find strength. Let love spread. Life's a climb. Just take a step. Rise above. Find your breath in the darkness. We will find a shining light to free our mind. To free our mind. Self-growth blooms like petals bloom. Shedding tears will heal the wounds and the chaos. Let's find peace, embrace the pain. Let it release.
Relax your mind. It's divine time.
What is love? That's a question I feel like a lot of people end up asking. Nobody truly has an answer to, due to the fact that love means many things to different people. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? My name is Donnelly Divine. I don't seek to get paid likes or a crap load of followers. I just want to be a voice for those who feel they don't have one, and ear for those who are always listening to others but never have anyone to listen to them, and a source for positivity when anyone needs some motivation to carry on. Love makes the world goes round, and I have plenty to give. With that, I want to pass to who all y'all just jumped off camera at the same time. That's Money's Mess. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it. Boom. So with it, Queenie, tell us a little bit about you.
I am Queenie B. That is my name on all social media. I am a person who is learning about love in all its many facets and embracing it within myself. I found out recently I'm life path number 9. That's why that number 9 is there. And that's a demon.
That's powerful.
It's not a demon. That right there, yeah. I'm sure you looked into it. That's a good number.
For others. For others. But
hey, but number 9s, y'all always have money coming in.
And going out. But I'm grateful to be here. And yeah, not too much else about me.
Tell us a little bit about you, Impossible.
Impossible Prince King God. You can find me over at Talk That Crap on YouTube. We here to enlighten minds, to help others to grow, to assist in your journey, to enhance your life. In the embodiment of love, the experience is eternal. In the embodiment of love, the experience is eternal. And that's what we're here to talk about. What is love? So let's go.
Mr. Sigmuno, perfect time and briefly. Who are you?
Let me Sigmuno. My name is Sigmuno. I am a being from another planet. Come to visit everybody here on Earth.
I am an alien.
Try to make some changes.
Yeah, fact.
And try to help and support people. Love my community. It's Mr. Sigmuno.
Yeah. Blessing to Miss Sigma Uno.
Do you know if she's gonna jump on tonight or no?
She said no.
Okay. All right, bet. I talk about love. She's like, bump that. I'm gonna catch.
That's not what that is.
She gonna pop in later on. She gonna pop in later on and give me some 2 cents. Or at some point she can jump in. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start it off straight into the discussion. What love means to you? What does love mean to you? Me, love is energy. Love is a vibration. Love is a frequency. For me, it is a feeling. For me, it is a feeling because I can literally feel love, and the way that I give love as well. I don't do love so much as in trying to make a person like feel good into per se. It's just the things that I do are always out of love. So for me, I feel like there's a difference of being in love and actually giving love. So being in a loving state, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what love means to me.
Beautiful.
Queenie, you already know impossible. You always last.
I would say to me, love means basically the word itself, living on valued energy. LOV. And
Never heard that before.
just
I love that. Yeah,
because
me
the
either.
the energy that you hey, I'm a big Janae Aiko fan.
Oh,
So she
God.
can drop
Okay.
it.
Hey, she's good. She is good.
And so like Dan Lee was speaking about that energy, just wanting to exist and be in that state of wanting to be light, and sometimes needing to be dark in order to show others that light. So valuing that energy and existing and living in that energy is more or less what love means, and it's an altruistic thing. Even though I don't believe in altruism on a broad spectrum, I believe the energy of love is altruistic because it is to be given with no necessity of reciprocation.
And give me that acronym one more time of love. Living what?
Living on valued energy.
Thank you.
Mr. Sigma Uno. What is love? Love means what to you?
After bumping into the wrong thing for quite a while, over and over again. Wrong definitions. You cannot allow people that have done you wrong to give you the definition of love, because it comes from a place.
Right.
It comes from a place of either necessity or a desire to hold on to something that's not theirs. That's all the wrong idea or the wrong reason why, and I've experienced pretty much all of it. The one that I'm closely attached to is unconditional love, or what they call agape love. Love for everyone, love for your community, and unconditional love meaning I give it, like Miss Queenie said, I give it and don't expect anything back from it, and hope that someone can receive it and then pay it forward.
Wow. I mean, y'all got me piggybacking on this. That's kind of difficult to be following.
We got
I say for me, nah, not really, but it sounded good. But y'all, it does bring a level of awareness, when others share their an understanding of what love is, and even for me, love is a substance, it's an essence, it's a very consciousness of that which I am. It's the very essence that allowed me to metamorphose into who I am right now. Love is the guiding light that has led me down a path to revelation and realization, self-realization. Love has been the thing that taught me things about myself when I didn't even know I had even problems about myself. Love was the one that showed me that I could be better than which I was. Love showed me all my hiccups. So what love is to me is a teacher, a guidance. It's a substance, and I tell this story. When I first started reading the Kabbalion, it was in 2013. And this was at the time I was battling with love. And I was reading it, and I would sleep one night, and I felt like I jump up out of my sleep. The fuck? They say substance. What the fuck? Wait a minute. I done jump up and turn the light on. What the fuck? Substance. I just looked around, nobody in the room. At that moment, I understood that love was a true substance. It was a thing that gave you everything that you ever would need. It's the thing that give you. So that's glad that whatever somebody can tell me, I don't know, but I know substance. Ever since then, love became a substance in my life, And that what love is to me is substance. It's the thing that gives you any and everything that you could ever desire, need, want, wish for, hope for, or anything. It don't matter. Love got it.
Right. Right. So
I love that. I love that. I love that substance. Substance.
Mm-hmm.
Something that makes you feel whole. I like that.
Woo. I'm telling you, you don't need nothing else outside that substance, bro. You don't need nothing outside of that substance. You know, when it's something that can just continuously pour into you forever and ever. You could be at your most bottom point and love will pour into you at your most bottom. It can be the worst. It can be the worst relationship split ever, and all of a sudden, love just show back up in your life. It gives all the time. It gives all the time.
And I think it was you were piggybacking off Queenie when you said it was one of those things where it's like you don't want anything back. You're giving just out of who you are. That you're not seeking anything back. And I mean, I love that because, in all honesty, when we look around into the world right now, when we look around and how the world is moving right now, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of love out there. And I mean, the thing that I notice as well, I personally think that anybody can feel the difference anybody can feel love. Individuals who might not have grown up in love, when they actually do get loved, they're going to feel something. They feel different. They might not know exactly what it is because it may be unfamiliar to them, but they can tell when they're actually being loved. And I feel that in this day and age, there's a lot of people who run from love because they're unfamiliar with what love is. And then they don't really understand what love means to them. I know you spoke about in the past that you didn't even love yourself at one point. Impossible. So I mean, how did it feel when you did start loving yourself? What changes did you feel? What was different in your life?
Self-identity. You know, how I saw myself, what I was reading, who I was around, the people I was around, the images that I allowed into my life on a daily basis, the music that I allowed in my life on a daily basis, the TV that I allowed in my life at a daily basis. So when I changed all of those aspects, everything else changed. You know, I had a mentor, Miss Nicole Kirby, told me a long time ago. She said, "You change your friends to change your friends." It took a while before I understood. I ended up with all new friends. I didn't have to change nobody. I just ended up with new friends. So that love, when it came, it gave me a whole different view of possibilities, what's possible. You know, in the 7 spiritual laws of success, they talk about pure potentiality. You know, what's just pure potential? Love is just pure potential. You can form it and shape it into any idea you desire. And that was the freedom, because when you have low self-worth, you have no love for yourself, it's hard to have a life, because all you see is death. You pray for death. You hope for death. You do things to wish death to come. But realistically, what you're hoping to is the death that you're dying to is the old you, and you're awakening to that true rebirth. That's what you're really desiring. That's what the death really is. It's a symbolic. Through alchemy, it's a symbolic. So once I got into the spiritual science, it all changed, because it was no longer how I felt. It was what was happening in my mind, what was happening in my spirit. And that changed the game of love, because love, it wasn't something you could tell me you love me and I could know you was lying, and I ain't had to say you was lying.
Right.
Okay. So love changed everything, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
I think the people that are not introduced to love, or the ones that are suffering that we believe don't, are the ones that have the most love, the most honor, the most respect, because they're not held to that, and they're not beaten with it, or they don't have people trying to sell it to them. You see what I'm saying? And that comes from experience. Again, I've had some experiences that are very mixed. The emotion of it was mixed, and I had to sit back and realize that whatever the people were taking from me is what they actually needed, you know. And I couldn't fault them, because I was going through hella shit at the time myself. So I, I when I felt like I was raped of it or taking something from me that I actually needed, that's when I realized I had more than enough. And it wasn't necessarily what I said; it was the things that I did, the actions. If I gave my last, then I know where I was going to get the next from, or it was a blessing came after that from someone else or somewhere else. So when you give it, depending on how you give it, when you give it with a good heart or your intentions are good for a person, that's love by itself. You see what I'm saying? It's the blow up of the word. And I'm just curious to know what love, what you call love in different languages. Because in America, this language is junk language. And just because they say love is what it is in their definition, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what it is across the board. We believe that it means that across the world, but it may not. So are they giving us a definition of what they want us to believe it is and to strive for? Or do we already have the definition deep in our hearts? And we just need to go inside and ask the question. And when we do get the answer, we're going to fight it because we've been taught this way that love, the way love looked was the way someone gave it, or the way someone acted, or the way what the people did, or the people that challenge you to continue to love the way they want you to love, as opposed to allowing you to love how you know to love, without saying that there's a definition to it, if that makes sense. It's all, for me, it's all, when someone tells me that I have to love them or we need love and I need to give it, I don't think they're lacking it. I think they're wanting you to do what they want you to do, as opposed to allowing or finding out what love looks like from you. You see what I'm saying? It's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because right when you said that, I was just like, that sounds like manipulation.
It is. There's a point of manipulation when it comes to it because of the feeling. And 9 times out of 10, it's connected to a physical connection. When someone says it, or when someone says it afterwards, it's the feeling. So if that feeling is love for that person, and then it's easy to walk away and not see that person again. And they want you to say, you said you love me, you have to be with me. It's used for a point of manipulation. That's why, again, for me, I would like to know, and maybe this is my homework for myself. Maybe I need to look into other countries and find out what is love according to them. What's love? What's the definition of love? What is the word love in other language? How do you say love in Africa? How do you say love in Egypt? How do you say love in in other countries? Because this country,
Swahili.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it means, Swahili? Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I mean, and that's just me. I've had a rough go around with people, family members too, and it's everyone saying that you're supposed to love me. Do you know what that means? Obviously, there's not enough in you for you wanting to have it for me. You want me to give you mine because you can't feel yours. Let's try to get to the place where you can feel your own. And it's not that it's not there, is that you haven't tapped into it for yourself yet. And that's just my belief. You know what I'm saying? This isn't psychological evidence. It's not there's no teaching, no seminar on what love is. This is just how I feel about it. And again, the woman that's in my life now, it's acceptable because it's silent between us. There's no forcing anything. There's no pushing and saying that you have to. You ain't told me that you love me today. You either know it or you don't. You either feel it or you don't feel it. You see what I'm saying? And in some cases, I feel like love complicates things. The word love complicates things, depending on what type of relationship you're trying to build with somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it's that's how I feel about it.
Yo, 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 my homegirl from Nassau, from the Bahamas, just popped in. What's up,
Hey.
Nisha? How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, good. So right now we're talking about what love means. What love means. Love means what to you?
Mm.
Yeah, you know me.
She said she just got on. She said,
Yeah, like give me a second. Like let me.
Yeah.
Okay,
You know
all
what I'm
right,
saying? Let me
cool.
breathe. Let me breathe. Let me get in here.
While you take that second, I'm gonna go ahead and chat back. Respond to what Mr. Sigma Uno just said.
Okay.
I'm like, what you said, Mr. Sigma Uno, I agree completely with, because everybody we love differently. And I'm like, we have different love styles, kind of like how there's different leadership styles. So I mean, my biggest thing is you can't say you love someone if you don't love yourself. And like you said, there's a lot of people saying that you need to love me, or either they're seeking love because they don't know how to love themselves. So they need something to make them feel a little more full. Like how Mr. Impossible said earlier, that substance. So a lot of people will sit there, correction, I'm not gonna say a lot, because there's individuals who will sit there and try and draw this love out of you, especially if you're an individual who lives off value and energy. Get that right, Queenie? Because I'm like, the reason I love what Queenie said is because there's individuals who have so much love to give, and they're just giving love. They're trying to love those that they come around. They're always trying to show that love, always giving that love that they are. Their light shines in love. And if you could sit there and see their aura, I wouldn't be surprised if it actually represents the same as the freaking heart chakra. But anyway, some individuals do not know themselves, do not love themselves, do not know what love is, because they operate out of a way that doesn't even really provide love. And they may mistake it as love. So this is what they're constantly doing, because that's what was shown to them. Kind of like when it comes down to attraction. Nobody can teach you what attraction feels like, what it looks like. So your body you'll go off of feeling that you have in your body. Now that could be your body telling you to stay the hell away from that person. They're not good for you. But the fact that you might think that it feels good, or, oh, is this what attraction is? You run towards it. Some people will sit there and feel the love of others, and they want to be a part of that individual's life just to constantly keep getting that, because they've never gotten it before, or they're trying to figure out what that feeling is, even though that feeling makes them feel good. So they might use that as a high, use you until they think that they got what they want, and then keep on moving on. I've dealt with that many times in my life. Love can be used. I feel love can be used. I'm sorry, Queen. I like to say I feel, due to the fact that I can't speak for everybody. So I speak about what I feel. Right when I said I feel, I thought about what you said back in the day when you're like, I ran across a TikTok. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
Honestly, I don't even know why you said Queenie. I just got to say I feel, but I just went along with it because.
Oh, okay. You brought up that one time where a lady said that if someone says they feel, now they're not going off of their thoughts, they're going off of emotions.
Oh, snap. Y'all killing me tonight. Y'all doing it.
Okay.
But yeah,
Y'all doing it for me tonight.
Hey, we're just having a conversation. I'm just showing her. I listen to her. It's something that stuck with me every time I say I feel, because now anytime that I say that, I think of it as if like a filler word, but now it's like a filler sentence almost. So that's why. So you stuck with me, Queenie. But with that, Tanisha, did you have time to think about what love means to you?
I only could give a little concept what I think is love. Love is that's still a hard question.
Come on.
I think it has to do with your inner self, and I don't know how it has to do with your inner self. How do I know what love look like? Especially when you grow up and you was taught how to love, or how do I know what it's supposed to look like? How am I supposed to know how it feels? How it's hard for me to describe it because I'm still learning what love is. And that's okay. It's within myself, and it's trying to do it to learn how, because it's different ways to love.
You're right.
But I feel like it's something genuine. And I can't describe it. It's that word,
Right,
that love
though.
word is so difficult for me to describe. I think it's one of the toughest words out there because people can shoot that word out to you and use that as a defense mechanism, or they can use that to break you or build you. I love you. Yeah, they could shoot that word out as anything. So to me, it's so difficult to describe that word because it has a lot of meaning. It has a lot of meaning. And honestly, I can't describe that word to you because I am not honestly there yet. I don't know how it is to love, or I don't know how it is to be loved.
That's okay.
So yeah.
The exploration of love is going to be beautiful for you. The exploration of love is going to be beautiful for you. Yes, for sure.
Okay. Thank you.
When you get an opportunity to define it, I would really like to know.
Mm-hmm.
An amazing.
Yes.
Once you push everybody out of the way, all the people, and you block all the voices out of your head, and you look forward to find it for yourself. When you find it, nobody else is gonna matter. Nobody else's voice is gonna matter. You won't get angry at stuff that's trivial anymore. You'll just kind of look at the person and try to find out how you can help them love, or how you can direct them in a place to find love for themselves. You won't. It's hard to get angry anymore because you see suffering in people, and the things that they do doesn't matter. That's what unconditional love's all about. Somebody that needs a hug that just did something that's considered the worst thing in the world. To be able to love that person regardless, and to feel for them and to understand them regardless of what they've done. That's called unconditional love. And the things that we do, I mean, even the most high, the most high for me is like if being the master of my existence, and having the ability to take me out of here whenever you'd like to, realizing that I've made a heap of mistakes. I've done a lot wrong. I've hurt people in the past. I've done a lot of wrong things, and the idea to have the chance to change that when I finally found out what love is for me, to have the ability to change that and to walk in that, and to be forgiven for the mistakes that I've made. That's unconditional love. I mean, it's an amazing thing.
It's only one type, though.
You're right.
It's only one type, because in certain situations, unconditional love would not even exist.
You're right.
The only time I can even see most people giving unconditional love is from parent to child, because all other love always has conditions attached to it. You may have been forgiven, but do it again. That love not going to be that unconditional that time. So because just, going off of what Mr. Sigma Uno said earlier about how different cultures describe love, they all have words. Like the word Mr. Impossible gave us, I think it's like sarange.
Nina Kupena.
It's ashiteru in Japanese.
Swahili.
It's amor. And what in Swahili?
Nina Kupena.
Oh, what you wrote? Oh, Nihaku. Nina Kupenda. Nina Kupenda. So Nina Kupenda. But what love actually is in every culture, it will be based on, because there's always stipulations associated with love.
Yep.
Even with love of yourself, there's a stipulation associated with it, because what could and could not be considered love for yourself. You see what I'm saying? Like, self-care is great, self-love, but hey, if you want to laze around because you feel like that's you loving yourself and just want to be in your truth, now you're lazy.
So are we?
the stipulations I feel like that everybody puts on it's different ideas depending on the situation and the type of love, I guess, more or less is where I'm going.
I hear what
That
you're
makes
saying.
sense, y'all? Okay.
It makes sense.
Okay.
My question is, when do you come to the point? When are we not pressed to define it? When are we not pressured to define it? When are we not pressured to use it according to what people are saying it should be used?
I mean, it's always going to be defined. That it's always going to be defined because even for you, because you said, love for you was not. You said love for you was not. Needing to say it every day.
Right.
The way that I was raised, you don't love me. I'm a words of affirmation person. Even if it's a quick, every time I got off the phone, I heard I love you with my mama.
Yeah.
So if it's not, even if it's a quick, all right, babe, love you. You don't love me. Like what? Because if you don't say it, oh, something wrong, sugar. Because this is different. I need to hear it. I need actions outwardly to portray it. So love for me may look like that, but for you is different. In your love, that is the definition of your love. So there's always going to be a definition of it, but it's just our own personal definition that differentiates. You see what I'm saying?
Right. I hear what you're saying. And for me, it's almost conditional. And the reason why I'm asking this question is because when do we break the ties of men? You see what I'm saying? If we're tied to what we're saying love is, and it's the definition, and we're trying to walk based on this, and somebody else gave us a definition, when do we break from that and own it for ourselves? And define it how not with that word or not with that acronym, like you created another acronym for it. So is that the ownership for you of what that is? Or is it a definition that men give that we're still trying to follow? You see what I'm saying? So that's the only reason why the closest for me to understanding that is there's unconditional means there's no bonds. There's no tying me to anything. I'm not tied to do this. I'm doing it for my own free will. You see what I'm saying? But even that is a definition from what the world says. When do we dig deep enough to realize this feeling, this emotion, this soul, all of this is the basis when you come to a complete alignment. The heart chakra is part of your complete alignment. The crown chakra is part of your complete alignment. The throat chakra, the base chakra, all of those are part of this complete alignment that creates this connection to a spirituality that supersedes what men say. You see what I'm saying? Because if they were telling us the truth, or they were giving us the truth by words, then we wouldn't need to find out about this alignment piece. We would already have it, but they're not trying to do that. Everything they do is based on manipulation. Everything they say, everything they put in media is based on a manipulation, and it doesn't really serve us. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I would say that's when love of self. That's when your alignment, you're speaking of alignment and love of self first actually comes in, because the definition of it, how it differs for different people, however you feel like love, whatever you feel like love is to you, whether someone else may have that same definition or not, if it brings you peace and it brings you joy and it keeps your alignment, then that is what love is for you.
Right.
And that's what matters most, because it's for you.
Right.
So that alignment, that love of self, that love of self is the first place it has to start. Because I mean, if you don't love yourself, what can you do?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Besides project.
Right. Exactly. And that's what happens mostly is projection.
And I'll add on to that. I do want to say one last thing, because
because I have a new person on the panel today. I just want to let her know, like, hey, if you ever have anything that you want to say, by all means, you can jump in. Once the person is done speaking, we're all respectable. We all have their emotional intelligence. So if there's any time you want to say something, once the person's done speaking, or either just let them know, like, I want to add on to that when you're done, so that way we can keep the conversation flowing. All right, got that, Nisha?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. And I think Impossible, you were speaking, yeah?
Yeah, I just wanted to add on Walt and what Queen said was just talking about they have a different way of seeing love, and that's when I be talking about the love language. Everybody got a different language when it comes to love. Everybody got a different identity, a different feeling, different philosophy. They have a different psychological attachment to love. So a lot of times we want everybody to see love, to embrace it the way we understand it. But nobody got slapped in the face at 3:00 in the morning to tell me that that's a subject. And a lot of people ain't going through that, so they don't really gather what that really means in their life. They just feel it as, you know, a love can be a sexual gratification. I love that, and it's over with. So you can have a 20-minute love, and then look at your goddamn mate and be like, that motherfucker disgusted the shit out of me. Goddamn. What the hell are we talking about?
What is it about?
So, right, it's the love language. Are we able to speak the same language? When we really grab that love is a foreign language for all of us. I don't give a fuck where you at. That bitch foreign. You know what I'm saying? Because as Wall said, they manipulated it so much that you can't definitively say this what it is. Now I can share with you different ways that you can approach it. I can share you different principles that define it. Those are just principles from a different particular structure and ancestral path. You know, that's what they say love is, and what you say love is. So to me, it's the language. Are we able to speak the language of love? If it's the very essence of all that there is, and everything that we do is from that very mind of love, yet we still asking what love is, tell a lot about us.
Right.
Tell a lot about us.
Does.
Everything? Okay. So we got people out here still, you know, trying to figure out what love is. Like, it's you. Every cell in your body, every frequency. It's every you walk out in nature, you see nothing but love, interacting, harmonizing together. Yeah, but I was talking about that love language. Yeah, just a love language. How we get to speak with each other and allow each other to speak their love language without being demonized. It's okay that y'all don't see that. It's okay if you don't see the same thing that he does, same thing that she does. Like, could it be okay because y'all still have a conversation though?
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
that's love, right?
Well, then why we got so many broken families? If that's definitely.
Well, I mean,
families are weighted down. But for me, the perfect description or the perfect, I'd say the perfect example is kids. It doesn't matter what happens.
Huh?
It doesn't matter what happens in a day. And it doesn't happen what happens over a week. That child is going to show you that same hug, that same love. They're going to act like they see you for the first time when you walk through the door all the time. That is, I can't even describe what that love is. I can't. I think it's something more. I think it's something more than love from children, because they show it. They're uninhibited. They show it regardless. You don't have to tell them. It just happens.
Like, can I ask this question? What changes over time? Those same kids that when you walk through the door, they was grabbing your legs, they was giving you the hug, they was excited that your ass came home when you got to the house. But when they got in their 20s, you wasn't with the same hug when you walked through the door. What happened?
That's when the world starts kicking your backside. When you turn age, when you get curious, when you begin to get curious, and you ask questions, and you want things that you see, subliminal messages start kicking in. The things that you've been watching all those years in your family that happened, that is dysfunction, all those things start to set in because you begin to realize everything isn't seen through rose-colored glasses anymore, or the love that they thought was there wasn't actually there, according to their mind. And I'm saying that because that's what happened to me. I can't speak for everybody, but it all changes.
So do we as parents speak foreign language?
I believe so.
Do we as parents speak foreign language?
I believe so.
When it comes to love,
Yes, we do.
We
do.
Wow.
Because if we're under the gun here in the world, we can't speak it as much. We're too busy. Whenever you have a problem with one of your kids, I'll just speak for myself. When I had a problem with one of my kids, they got uptight, upset, they started slamming doors and breaking things. The first thing that come to my mind is, I paid for that. You ain't gonna be tearing up stuff in my house. You see what I'm saying? That's the first thing that comes in my mouth. Instead of me saying, hey, what's going on? Why are you throwing a tantrum?
Okay.
And then later on, hey, you ain't gonna break nothing in my house. But the first thing should be the concern, right? Why have you gotten this angry?
Right.
Let's talk about it. You see what I'm saying? That's the love portion of it. But you miss that because your concern is, hey, man, I paid for this house. You ain't gonna be breaking stuff in my house. The hell wrong with you? And it becomes a whole other thing because everything just went over your head and went over their head. And they're like, nobody care about me. Nobody love me. And this is teenagers. I've dealt with it.
Mm-hmm.
I have to take a step back and say, hey, hold on a second. I can't. If I do what was done to me, they'll eventually be down the same road that I had been down. And I didn't want that for them. So, yeah, we can talk. And if I open the door and say, we can talk, you can say what you need to say, but respectfully, cussing at me, calling me names, that's the perimeter.
Yeah.
Anything else to say, let's have a conversation. I want to hear what you have to say.
Conversation.
Yeah. I want to hear what you have to say instead of just completely cutting them off and becoming the landlord as opposed to the parent. Because I think that's what happens. Well, it happened with me anyway.
So, Mr. Sigma Uno, when you first was talking off, I love how you even rolled into what one of my topics was, which is in spiritual growth, how does love play a part? You talked about aligning the chakras.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my first time meditating. This is me learning what it was. So sitting there is a discipline and all in the first place, but the reward from it is it's something that's completely out of this world. I mean, that's kind of my toggle. You know what I'm saying? My toggle is the universe is there's so much freedom in the universe. When you go within yourself, when you ask for travel, when you go to other dimensions, when you see other dimensions, when you talk to ancestors, all of that stuff is something like nothing I've ever dealt with before in my life. But there's also a freedom in it, and I think that's what allowed me to be. That's what allowed me to look at love differently. It's loving yourself to make you sit there and accept that I have to sit here until I feel the complete alignment, until the crown chakra opens up and I'm connected with the universe. I'm connected with the Most High. I'm connected with who I've been trying to connect with for most of my life to begin to gain understanding. And gaining the understanding of that spirituality was amazing in itself because it takes you away so far away from this. It makes you not want to, it makes you understand what's happening here. It makes you understand what's happening with people, but also makes you not want to be here. It's like my great escape is meditation. I have to get the heck out of here. So I need to sit down and I need to meditate so I can be able to deal with it on the tomorrow when I step outside of my doors. But that was the beginning of love for me, and understanding all of the chakras, understanding why they exist, and understanding why the feelings I had with the third eye opening, the way my features changed when my posture changed. All of this was helpful and it's healthy. So that was the beginning of love for myself on a spiritual level. And then other things that happened, other experiences I had, vortex, gateways, all of this. It's a door open to feel better about living, because sometimes down here, without any connection to anything, it feels like you're in hell. And that's how I felt until I was able to get to a place where I needed to connect. You need that connection. You do. If you don't, it's hard to live in this world otherwise. That's the beginning of love for me.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. It's going back to what Mr. Impossible said, that substance. Because I mean, what you just described, that was becoming whole. That was becoming one completely with yourself and with the universe. So that's substance. And I'm like, I love how you said the universe, because they say that we all are connected. And I feel like that tying in with the golden rule, treat others as you want to be treated. So ultimately, you treating yourself how you want others to treat you. If we all are connected and we all are one, so you're honestly just loving everything together as a oneness, right?
Right. And you know, it's funny because people talk about blasphemy, right? And when they talk about blasphemy, they're specific with being careful of blaspheming their creator. When we are created by the creator. So if we're blaspheming, that means if I cuss you out, if I disrespect you, I'm not disrespecting you, I'm disrespecting your creator. You see what I'm saying? So that's ultimate blasphemy. I can't love you, or I treat you wrong. I'm not just treating you wrong, I'm treating your creator wrong. You see what I'm saying? So it's important that we don't seclude ourselves to just being outside of who our creator, who we're created to be, and whose hands we're created by. When we get to that place, that I think we'll understand better that I have to love this person. Yeah, he did me wrong, but and see, that's my grandmother and them. Oh my gosh, my grandmother, she would tan your hide, beat you like you stole something if you did something wrong. But then that big old huge hug. Come in. And I want you to know I love you. I hurt you more than it hurt me. I still understand that piece, but I understood the love. I understood, hey, I love you, and I think they understood that part to where, hey, we're all here. We're all here for a reason. We all belong to the Most High God, and I can't treat you wrong and not explain to you or apologize to you for what I've done to you, because I just didn't wrong you. The world is full of karma. If you can understand that, the world is full of karma for people that are hurt by other people. So it sets love aside for a mild vengeance. It's like I want them to hurt for what they did to me. And I think at that point, karma begins to rule. And it's hard to say I love you when things like that happen. And karma begins to rule because you want them to feel hurt like they hurt you. It takes somebody very strong to sit back and say, yeah, they did this to me, but I'm just going to let it go. But I've seen it. I've seen it happen. I've seen it to my wife. I've seen it.
Question.
Go ahead.
Wouldn't you gather that maybe that karma is also a form of love? Because
wow.
Because one thing that I love to say is I tell people, I'm going to do you exactly how you do me.
Queenie, say that one more time for those in the back.
Love, karma is also a form of love, because you need to learn. There are people that do terrible things that they keep doing them because that type of love has not come to them, that love of teaching them a lesson. Because I used to get spanked as a child as well, and my mama will also be like, I'm doing this because I love you. Inside of her mind, that was going to keep me out of a worse place.
Right.
So that was a form of love, no matter how distorted I may feel now as an adult. Like, I wouldn't do that to my child, but that is a form of love. And like Mr. Sigma Uno said, that hug after, or the treatment that was consistent, that love was most important. because it did sustain me despite the spankings that I got. So yeah, I tell people all the time, I'm going to treat you, baby, exactly how you treat me. So Terry, real careful. I'm not waiting for God to come get you. I'm not waiting for the universe to come get you. I'm going to get you. I'm going to do it because I love you enough to teach you that when you fuck around, you find out.
Yo, Queenie.
Yo, fire.
Yo, today is Mr. Sigma Uno dropping gems.
Sigma Uno, I call for.
Queenie, when you were speaking, the amount of daggers I felt hit me. I know there's gonna be a lot of other people who end up seeing this is gonna hit them too. Because that right there, when it comes to the spiritual how to part of the spiritual growth, the individuals to be able to sit there and actually realize the things that they have done. And when how you said sometimes you are the karma, bringing it onto them out of love. You love them enough to show them what they did wrong. It's funny because I always say, I'm like, in my family, we are warriors of karma. We're the ones that get that initiated.
Yeah.
So when you said that, I was like, oh, it makes sense now. And then in my family, I did not know. Some of my family members knew. And these two individuals that are on here as well kind of found out once I finally said it. They were like, duh. So like, spiritual fighters, spiritual warriors. I learned that love can be harnessed as an energy and is actually stronger than any of the other emotions. Now, that right there, it got me because the way that a lot of us all describes love was a feeling, how we're giving it out. And then when it comes down to it, they say that you can put love and emotion into your manifestations and everything, which therefore makes it sound kind of like an emotion.
Right.
So talking on what is love, I love how Mr. Impossible asks, is love language authentic? Because you have, for the example, I think it's a book, The 5 Love Languages, and each one of those love languages are different. We discussed briefly about how everybody feels love is something different. Everybody feels love differently. Your love, the way that you feel love is by getting gifts. The way that you feel love may be sex. The way that you feel love is drinking a bottle down. There are some individuals who will sit there and think about. You have people who are in love with food and they need this to really feel that substance. There are people who drink to try and feel that substance. So I mean, people find love.
Is that love though?
And that's why I said how Mr. Impossible said, is love language authentic?
Well, because I think that certain things are more satiation than love. Because love is like I feel like love is consistent. Like love is it's like ongoing. If like once you bust and the feeling's gone, it may like not just the rush of dopamine, but the feeling of love. I don't think that's love. Because love is consistent. Like like there are people that I have love for that I haven't seen in years, but I still have love for them.
Right.
It's not going to change because of the role that they played in my life. So I don't think it's really it. I mean, I could be wrong because love is different for everybody. We already established that.
And that's why we're doing the topic. What is love? We're going through all the different things that is considered as love. We're not saying this is love, that is love. So
I think love is more of a permanent thing. That's why it has to come from within first.
Right.
I don't think love can just be like instant gratitude type, like microwave love. That's love bombing.
Ooh, with that radiation.
That's microwave love.
Oh goodness.
You said love bondage.
You said love bombing.
Love bombing.
Okay, she did say bombing.
Bombing.
Like bombs
Yeah,
over
that's
bad.
I thought she said bondage. I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love bondage. Oh Lord.
I think that's
I was like, what she said?
I don't think that love bondage is not a a thing in BDSM, but it's just in my mind because you said it. Love bondage is not a thing in BDSM
I'm
because I'm in
sorry.
the community.
I'm
But it was just in my mind. I was
Listen,
thinking, how would that go?
let's go. Let's just go on.
So, with it, I want to ask you real quick, like, what are ways that love can challenge people to better themselves? I know that Mr. Sigma Uno, he had hit on a brief story. I'm like, okay. And I love how Queenie was just talking about the kind of karma. What are some other ways that you feel that love can challenge people to better themselves?
I think love that it makes it personal.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No,
it makes it personal.
No.
You connect with love. I don't know how love. I said to y'all earlier, I'm still learning how to love. So, but I have it's something that's genuine, and I always could try to connect with people. And the way I do that is a greeting. But it's always, it's me trying to reach out to, I don't know, interact with people who I could see is, maybe might be broken or have a issue that I can't solve. Like, and I don't know. I'm trying to describe it, but everything is just so jumbled because I can't use the word love because I don't know what it is. For myself, I know I care for myself deeply. So when I try to give people the care that I have or help people with the care that I have and I feel destroyed from it, that I can't help, how do I go about trying to show people that I truly care or like genuinely care? Because it's hard.
Don't save them. They don't want to be saved. Don't save them.
Come on.
They don't want to be saved. You're right.
Yeah, we got a whole.
I am not your savior. I am not. I'm not your savior. I will say this. I will say this one thing, Queen, that really focus on yourself. The great thing right now is love yourself where you are. Be okay where you are, no matter where you are in love, no matter what the vantage point in love is. And that's all love really is for everyone. It's just a vantage point. It's just how you see love, how you feel about it, quote unquote. If I told someone I don't feel nothing about love, they'd be like, well, how can you love it? I like the love is an S. I don't gotta love you. Just me being here is love already.
Okay.
I don't gotta put nothing on top of it.
But don't accept that notion for males in real life, because that would be a manipulation tactic.
Right.
Love shows itself, because in the way that you're speaking, I've never experienced romantic love either. I've never been loved romantically, so I understand where you're coming from. And I know, like, you just give, like you're trying to show them, like, oh, well, I'm concerned about you, I'm worried about your day and things like that, because I care for you, even if it's not necessarily love. But that's why I say don't save them. They don't want to be saved, because you can love, because all you're going to do is empty yourself, because I've done it. Hell, I still do it sometimes. You just empty yourself.
Damn.
And then you left crying and by yourself, or you left empty and trying to figure out, oh wait, I have things to do, but I don't have the energy, because the love you should have been focusing in on yourself, you've been trying to give it out to other people in hopes of their growth or in hopes of them reciprocating it. Even if it wasn't for reciprocation, you just want them to be better, but you can't save people that don't want to be saved.
Understood. Understood. I appreciate
I'm in the same boat, sis. I'm in the same boat.
all y'all are dropping jewels tonight, for real.
And love discipline. Love discipline. Love gives you the thing that you desire the most. It may look funny, it may look odd, it may come in some odd and weird times. But love gonna discipline you. It's gonna guide you, it's gonna heal you, it's gonna reveal to you everything that you think that you know you want for yourself. Love gonna give that. When you start with self first, be a little selfish with love. It's okay. The greater that you can love yourself. Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. I promise you. For loving and speaking yourself, I need it. Sometimes spend so many times with other people and define what it is love is for us versus us exploring love for ourselves. Explore. That's why I said to you earlier. Explore love for yourself. Just explore it. Don't define it. Just explore it.
Okay. You're teaching me a lot here, so thank you.
You're welcome. That's what this moment is about. It's about that. This is the giving of love. This is the giving of love.
I'm speechless. Just you can feel. I'm sure y'all can feel it. Y'all can feel it like us.
I love Merlot. You know.
I love Chardonnay.
Yeah.
I love a little
I love Merlot. Oh
my gosh, how ridiculous.
Don't let any of this stuff bother you. You know what I mean? Like when I say love yourself from the very nature. Like when you go outside and you see a tree planted or a flower planted, realize that it came from a seed that developed from roots and then they grow up. Remember, a seed grows two ways at one time. They go up and down at the same time. So it don't go one way. Same time, two things are happening. So once the seed is broken, it begins. That's the seed of love. It's a root that runs deep and grows up. It runs deep and grows up. It becomes a flower. That's why the lotus is a big thing in certain cultures.
Right.
Because it's an explanation of love just flourishing. It just developed from that seed. That very intention of love. And love is an intention. Love is not something that you just do. You got to have intention for love. That's you just saying you ain't doing some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you want to rub her feet, she had a long day and you want to make her bath water and rub her feet. Love intention. If they don't want to give you a massage when you come in, baby, my shoulder hurt. What the fuck you want me to do? That might not be love for you. Might not be love for you. Let me warm my hands up and let me run you some bath water. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. So yeah, love gonna show up. Love gonna show up. Love is action. Love is purpose. When you do things out of purpose, you got to love that shit.
Yeah.
You gotta love it. You ain't gonna purposely the same way people manipulate you, they love it. What the fuck they are. They love that shit. That's why they good at it. They love it.
Love it.
They, when you find a motherfucking thief and he the best thief, this been the best thief I ever known. Cause he love it. She love it. That is the love they got.
And then
so yeah, but it's
being you in love, being you or holding on to who you are, being you, period, is a reflection and it's a light. So 9 times out of 10, depending on who needs to see your light that day, they get it or they don't. I mean, it's not impressed upon me to go and shove it in their face at all. It's they either see it and they accept it, and it's something they want because they saw it, or they'll encounter it eventually. or encounter it with someone or something or a moment or a traumatic event or something that'll happen that'll stir that for them and make them want it. But shoving it in their face or challenging whether they have it or not doesn't fix it. It doesn't at all, because we all have it. It's all there. It was there from the day we were born. We just kind of forget on the road in this country and this world, period, I guess. There's so many things that challenge us to be different or to be what they're saying that we miss or forget that we have it bottled up in the pit of us. Because it's there. It's been there. But the best way is just to live it. Live who you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's love by itself.
Is it easier to be vulnerable or sensitive to love?
I personally think love is a vulnerability.
It is by itself.
Okay.
You're right.
Love, and the expression of it, open yourself up. It's a vulnerability. It's a liability. It's a weak point. Like that, it really is, because love can be taken advantage of. So you just have to be cognizant. And I'm learning this, but you just love yourself. That's starting with self. Love yourself more than your love for anything else. Love yourself more than your love for, because yes, I love wine, but I also love having good kidneys and livers and things. So only on the weekends. You see what I'm saying? I love myself more than I love being consuming alcohol. So I think, as long as you have love of self first. And it's hard to stand in that. Even I find it hard to stand in that sometimes, because you want other types of love. But if you can stand in that, that's the best thing. Because if you shine in your light and you showing love, and the you're not being, that energy is not being reciprocated, abandon them. That's what I would do. It's not my job to teach you to love. It's not my job to make you feel this feeling. It's not my job to make you reciprocate something, because everybody is on a journey for themselves.
Right.
So what happened if you grew into something like that? Like, what happened if, like, your parents, you had to gain love from them, or like you had to push them to show you the love that they feel for you? And then you go out into the world and you see something totally different.
Oh,
that's actually pretty dangerous. And unfortunately, I mean, for me, I feel like I needed to show my daughters that same thing. When they were little, I showered them. We went places, we ate together. I made sure that they understood love for me, because I didn't want them to go out there and find it in someone else the wrong way. You see what I'm saying? There's a time when children shut down when they go into the world, but to continue to let them know that you love them and you're there to support them is important. But I understand what you're saying. That fear, for me, what it does, it makes you completely vulnerable, because then your radar is off. You don't know who to give love to, and when you give love, you don't know who's taking advantage of you or not. It takes one trip around the world for you to realize, dang, that person was just using me because of the things that I was saying and doing for them. You see what I'm saying? But if you don't get that from home, from home or from mom or from dad, then you don't know what it looks like. So it's like they're telling me they love me and they want me. I get this from them, and I don't even get this from my own parents. You believe it's love at the moment until time passes and you realize, hey, this dude, or this person, or this woman, or this man, they just wanted to take something from me. How do I recognize that later on? That's kind of, it's hard. It's really hard, because it's like, that's the school of hard knocks, period.
Yeah.
You learn everything from experience, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But the thing about the school of hard knocks is, if you're not paying attention and you're not fully writing it down or understanding what's happening from point to point, then you may go around there once or twice before you actually get the big picture. And that's the hard part when you're not showing love initially.
But to piggyback on what you're saying, Mr. Sigma Uno, that's why I say that love of self is the most important. Right. Because because as someone who went out seeking that love.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Yeah.
You go out, you trying to find love or understand what love is that's not maternal or paternal, like romantic love or platonic love with friends. People be like, oh, yeah, you my friend, I love you. And then they leave you somewhere. So, that love of self is first and foremost, because then you'll end up coming to terms with what will I tolerate. Because love is also a thing of tolerance. Yeah. I hate when people snore, but I love him, so his snoring is fine. It's love is tolerance. Love is, so your love of self is most important, because hey, you may not have to buy me flowers all the time, but like I said, you leave out this door and don't say I love you, now we got a problem. Yeah. So it's all about what it is for you and what boundaries you have and what you don't stand on. Because I tell you, look, I don't care how 2024 it is. You're going to give me my Disney Channel. Right. That's what I say. If you don't want to give me my Disney Channel, I don't want it. I don't want it. Because
so I got a little quote. Let me know if y'all are familiar with it. This happened to my mind when you were talking, Queenie. They say that people don't leave people they love, they leave people they were using. How do you feel about that?
You say that people don't leave what?
People don't leave people they love. They leave people they were using.
I don't think that's true, because I have a homegirl that I love. I have love for her, and I will never be in the same space as her. I will never be communal with her again, but that's a differentiation in values that we had. She's not a bad, terrible person. She, didn't do anything too immoral, but it was like, if I want to grow, I have to love you over there. I want you to eat, just not at my table.
Right. Yeah. Right. Makes sense.
I can
love at a distance.
In love. Yeah, I can leave you in love, like most of my family, because I'm agnostic, but I was raised in the South. Y'all can do what y'all want to do, and I love y'all, but please don't expect me to be hooping and hollering in the church house with you, because I'm not going to do it. But I support whatever positive endeavors that you believe that gives to you, because I want you happy, and that's what matters the most. So I can love you and leave you right on the side of the road. Not in no danger, but metaphorically, y'all.
Well, Queenie, I'm just gonna say, if I leave you on the side of the road, Queenie, I'm gonna leave you on the side of the road. That's all I'm gonna say.
No. I mean metaphorically. I would never leave nobody on the actual side of the road. The world is dangerous. I just
might be necessary
at your house and not contact you no more. But that's different, no, because if I have to leave you on the side of the road, I don't love you no more.
Yeah.
If I have to leave you on a physical side of the road, that I don't love you, because I would never do that. I would never, even for somebody I just dislike, I wouldn't leave them on the side of a physical road.
Right.
Like, I'll fight you before I abandon you.
And I'll say this. And maybe some people that's using others don't even know that they're actually searching for love. And their manipulation, sometimes it helps them to reveal where they need to make their correction at, as Queenie said, that karma being that love. You know what I mean? So sometimes when people do things that are very hurtful to others and that karma come back, that's why they'll come back years later and they'll tell you they're sorry. Because that karma love came back and said, hello. How you doing? That was nice.
So do you think love borders on rage?
And that,
what was that?
Do you think love borders rage?
Ooh.
Love and hate are two sides of the same coin.
Yes.
Because if
Hell
you
yeah.
piss me off, I got
honest-
to have some type of feeling for you to care because it's my valued energy.
Right.
If I don't care, then I don't care. So I'm gonna just keep it moving. Like, you get into an altercation with a random stranger, you don't give them your valued energy.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you will get into an altercation with your best friend, you'll get into an altercation with your sister, you'll be ready to fight your family because you love them and they hurt you. So you see what I'm saying? So yeah, love and hate are two sides of the same coin. That indifference, when people just don't give a fuck, that's there where there's no. But yeah, if I'm raging against you, I have some feelings for you. I think that's why so many people get mad when they are in confrontation, and some people just, their thing is to just walk away because they have to diffuse. But for others, it's, why do you not want to go back and forth with me? Don't you care about what I have to say? So it's understanding who you're dealing with and understanding the situation. But yeah, I hate you. I cannot hate you without caring.
No hate.
Right.
What? I don't hate. I would say to piggyback on that right there. I harness my rage with love. That's one of my mantras. You'll hear me say that multiple times. I harness my rage with love. So even when I'm at my most furious point, love gonna step in and gonna be like, okay, you finished? Now let me give you this. Let me give you this peace. Let me give you this understanding. Let me help you deal with this. Let me guide you over this way. This person was for you. So yeah, rage. That I grew up in America. What the fuck you talking about taking away my rage? That shit is there. What the fuck? I don't have to I don't have to react to it. Yeah, I don't got to react to it. I don't got to be, be all emotional to it. I got to find something to do with that motherfucker because it is in there. So yeah, so I harness it with love because I know, shit, I'm in America. Like that shit, you can't read history and not be offended to what the fuck you learn. Like, what
You're
you
a
mean?
black man in America on top of that.
So I want to ask this.
That's a different type of.
There you go. That's a different type of thing.
My question is, what advice would you give to someone who loves easily?
I would tell them that it's not love. I would tell them it's not love. It's infatuation.
Yeah.
It's instant gratification because love
Agreed.
is not something that you pick up like that. Like I can't even eat a food and say, "Ooh, I love this." I'd be like, "Ooh, I really, really like this," and I want to eat it again and again and again. And then suddenly, oh my gosh, I love this! Like it's so amazing. But because love is, like I say, it's consistent. Love is something that's ongoing. I can't just you can't say you love like something that's just throwing the word around. I feel like if you can love something just so quickly, unless it's role play.
That's why I spoke about that's not love. That's not love. That's the love of gratification. That's a love of gratification.
I'm saying, but psychologically, like if people role play and they be like, "Oh, I love you," and all this type of stuff, like I guess that helps produce the chemical for it, so it can produce it. But you won't be able to produce that. But that's an carnal desire. But even if you say you love someone, you're not going to produce that same chemical if you don't truly feel it.
Right.
I'm going over the science now. So like when it's tied to some type of chemical, then you actually can falsify to replicate the feel of love.
Right.
But if it's just he's so great, I love him. Girl, you met him last week. You don't love him. You don't know him. You love how he treated you because everybody else treated you worse.
Right.
Now, since you went science and you was talking about love, there's been scientific fact that shows that the heart resonates 5,000 times stronger than the mind. Most people think about love from their mind versus their heart. What do you say to that, Vinny?
Well, I mean, if that's a scientific fact, it would make sense because everything is interconnected. You see what I'm saying? Mind, body, spirit is one. So that's why I say you can't trick your mind, and you can trick your mind into believing you're operating out of love. But because to get that chemical production that's inside of your body, that is that oxytocin or whatever the case may be. But it's just, is it actual love? Because love is a consistent thing. It is consistent. And so if your heart frequency is, you know, if your heart is growing in size, or if your heart is not replying, but in collaboration with this feeling that you have, you know, your mind can be like, well, this is not love because this is infatuation. That's the point of the mind being there. So you don't fall off the deep end. Because if you somebody that lived in love, I was that child. Oh my God, I love this game. Oh my God, I love that game. Love, love. Because I grew up in a home where my mama loved me. She hugged me like, oh, you love this? This is so great. So everything was, oh, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love this. I love that. I love everything. Like, I love the sky, the plants. But is it love? If it's not something that I continuously resonate with, even though my heart was filled, because my body can feel things that don't make sense to my mind.
Right.
But what's going to get me to live longer?
Right.
So I believe everything you said, Mr. Impossible. It makes sense because we're beings that's meant to operate off of love.
I hear you.
Yeah, it was that was a beautiful moment. I had came across that information a couple of years ago when I took a class with Billy Carson. I couldn't get my words out right, but yeah, when he really broke down, what a frequency from your heart and what that really means, you know, thinking from your heart, what they call heart brain. So when that really came about, I was like, wow, wait a minute. What am I really thinking with when it comes to love? Am I really allowing my heart? Is it okay if someone hurts me and they leave me? Is it okay? Am I attached to love to a certain point? To now I got this ideology of this particular person or situation, and now I just get right. Those things are not love. Love will always sustain you. Love will always give to you. It will always pour in. Love will always give you what, I'm not saying that word. It's going to always give you what you require.
I know what word you skipped.
Will always give it to you.
Dang, share with the class. Share with the class.
So this year I stopped saying the word need and want. So I already stopped using the word need and the word want. So I don't use those words anymore. And I've already correct.
Wait, why?
And I've already took the words can't, but, and try out of my vocabulary. I don't use the word can't, but, or try.
Wait, why don't you say need or want?
What do you need that love has not already given and provided for you? And what do you okay, but what do you think that you need now? Explain to me what you need that love cannot provide.
Oh, that love has not provided.
Or cannot provide, not had not. Okay,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. So why need?
Because I still need it. Just because love provided don't mean I don't need it. I need oxygen. I need the trees.
What you need though? But what you need? What you need?
I need the trees to love to do their job, because I don't know if you just seen that scary movie.
You don't need the trees to love to do their job. Nature gonna do what it does. No, you don't need the trees. No.
I mean,
no.
That is love.
I get what he's saying. The reason why I do is because there's a need is connected to lack. So if you lack something,
Yes.
you need
Okay.
what you're lacking.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Because I was
So it's
like,
not for me. I replace the word with require. I require.
oh, okay. I
You know what I'm
require
saying?
oxygen.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Because I was like,
Yeah.
I need to treat
I
the
require
love
oxygen. Listen,
Because
hey,
need is associated
you love
with lack.
oxygen, but if you don't have enough of it, you dead. You know, you can love
Exactly.
oxygen all you
requirement.
want.
It's a requirement.
It's a
It's what you
requirement.
require.
So need,
That was like some Shaolin monk phrase
You
right
don't
there.
you don't need
instead of
oxygen. You don't need
Right.
oxygen. Right. You don't
I
need it.
require it.
Right.
Okay.
Because the need is
So all the
associated
thing
with
that you were saying that you said that you want and you need, when you actually look at it, you don't want or need it. Those were different ideologies that you are defining as part of what you believe that you desire or require. So when you say I need $1 million, do you need $1 million? Do you want $1 million? Well, I want $1 million. What you gonna do with it? I don't know.
I know what I would do though. So can I have that one? I know
Not
exactly
you.
what I would do.
I'm not saying you. I'm not saying
I'm
you.
just saying. I don't understand.
You could.
It's a requirement because it's part of
You probably gonna wipe out the whole Wahiti tribe. You know what I'm saying?
So actually, first of all, I would never genocide other humans because I do not believe in that unless you have to be unalived. I do believe in that, but I would never do that. It would just be about, getting my ventures off the ground. But what's wrong with wanting? Because need, okay, I can understand how need.
Okay.
I've heard
All right.
people
Now, let me go this route. All right.
So what's wrong with me wanting?
Well, let me. Okay. Well, let me go this route for you. In the state of meditating and manifesting, you already are in that particular state frequency as attainment already. So when I sit down in meditation and I'm meditating particular things that I'm looking in line with, because we are on life, we are creating time, we are evolving in time. So when I say that I want something, well, when I go in meditation, am I seeing in my mind the things that I want versus things that I have already? Because I'm looking at it in present tense. So we have to learn to speak in present tense as in I am, not as I want. I need, again, a speculation of something that you do not have. So that's why a lot of times people say, well, I want a great relationship. Well, you're speaking in existence of something that you don't have. I want a good man. Well, then shit, you probably won't find him. You want a good man. I want me a good woman. I want me a woman that cook. You keep finding women that don't know how to cook, that always going to go to fast food that's causing you problems. I don't know.
So instead,
when you take those things, you require, or you just already are existing in that essence already. Again, love is a substance. It gives you everything. When you're speaking outside of present tense on anything, you're saying that you're not there with it. If you're saying that I am the embodiment of love, the very essence and power consciousness of God resides within you. It is in your dwelling. It is your internal being. It is your essence. All that you are.
Well,
you lack for not a damn thing.
Well, see, I was
so when you say I want,
I actually say I am, but I only say that in my manifestations because that's my zodiac. Aries is I am. It is the state of being. So in my
that explains the warrior queen that you are.
I say that I am, but I didn't understand that, being in the state of for things, simply that I want, because when I say I am, it's just like I am light, I am love, I am a good person, I am a
exactly.
Like I do stuff like that, but I still
affirmation.
I am, yeah, but that was based on my zodiac because different zodiacs have different things. So that's why I was wondering why, just as an umbrella, it was a bad thing.
No, it's all from a basic mindset that you're far away and you're not connected to those things. We're taught lack when we're not taught how to. It's like the man saying, "I can give you a fish, but I'd rather teach you how to fish so you know how to go get them yourself." You see what I'm saying? Otherwise, you're walking around asking everybody for fish or a piece of bread. Well, why is he asking everybody for anything? He has the ability. He has it already. It belongs to him. He just needs to admit it, say it, open his mouth, affirm it. It belongs to you. Everything belongs to you. It is. If the creator of the universe is your creator, then you're endowed with that the minute that you took breath here. But again, the things that happen around us makes us forget that. If you're raised in a place that all you see is lack, then you're going to believe that that's what it is until someone says differently, or until you find out for yourself that that is not the way it's supposed to be. You see what I'm saying? Otherwise, we're walking around believing this. That's why I hate when the news comes on and it highlights the Black community and it's talk about violence or lack or all those other things. It puts an image of us as if we don't have the ability to sustain anything when we do have the ability to sustain it. They have us trapped in this mindset that we don't have and we need to get, but we already do. That is their greatest fear. Their greatest fear is for us to wake up and believe and remember that everything belongs to us already, that we don't need to ask them for anything. They love this idea that we're asking because it makes us, in their mind, it puts us in a place where they are God over us because we can't do it for ourselves. We have to come out of that mindset. And again, the beginning of that is love, right? Understanding that you're creating love. Yeah.
Tupac said, "Kick in the door and take it."
Exactly. Take it back, right? Take it back.
I'm sorry, I'm writing.
You're doing what?
I was writing. That's why I was down.
Okay.
Because I just really never considered what Mr. Impossible said.
Yeah.
Like an issue with wanting. Now I'm gonna make a TikTok.
Okay.
Oh, hey, when you do tag me in it.
That's what up. That's what up. Yeah. Definitely tag me. Definitely tag me. But you just think about what Mr. Sigmuno just said. He said they have already programmed us in lack. So every time we say we want and we need something, we got to understand we already have to come equipped with the images, the emotion, the feeling, the ideology, the philosophy. All of those things exist in the blink of an eye. As soon as you say you want or desire something, same way that when you say your affirmation as I am, in the blink of an eye, you see yourself just as you are, in fullness, in totality. And an infinite being, you know that you are when you say I am, because that thing resonates within you. You're saying it for a reason. When you say I'm a multi-millionaire, multi-billionaire, CEO, philanthropist, that's what I say to myself. And in gratitude and what I learned, I just understood that vantage point of love is, it's amazing. It's amazing. I just to hear everyone's vantage point, and even to the young that came on and she says, "I'm going through love right now. I'm just kind of working through it. I don't even know it 100%." That journey that she's on right now, I remember that, and that's my gratitude to love, is to remember when I didn't know it, when I wanted to kill myself, when I had no self-worth. When love took me by the hand and said, "Will you go where I take you?" And I said, "I don't know. Depends on where you taking me, shawty." But I followed, and she took me, and ever since then, love has been, the very essence of everything that I do. Love has attracted the greatest people to me, has attracted wonderful friends, wonderful family. if you ain't for me, you can't even get next to my motherfucking circle. So yeah, that's what the gratitude, what I learned. Love is a powerful protection. Because when I love, and if you ain't loving, you can't be around my motherfucking ass. You ain't loving. You can't even be around me. Now, how about that? That's what I learned. That's how powerful love is.
For me,
Congrats on what you learned.
I'm grateful for the platform always. I'm grateful that Miss Queenie was on. I'm just understanding her perspective on love, and same with Mr. Impossible and you, Denley. And I really appreciate the young lady that was on, because it kind of helped me look back a little bit, because I've been there, and not realizing or trying to figure out what it actually is outside of someone telling me, or when somebody asks me, I have this blank look on my face, like, what is that? Because I mean, it's we would want that it's readily there, but the changes we go through from the age 12 and 13 on up, it completely destroys the imagination. It does, and I learned that is a truth, a definite truth this evening, and I also learned that karma is a part of love. Thank you, Miss Queenie, for that one.
Shout out to that. That's a bomb tonight. Yeah. You dropped that for sure. I ain't lying. That and living on value energy. Those two things tonight. Yeah. Thank you. You definitely. Yeah.
Y'all just took all my what I learned.
So
sorry, dude.
I am grateful to be here. I'm grateful that I know you all, because that affirms that I make pretty decent decisions sometimes. And so I am grateful for that. And what I learned so much, differentiating ideals of what love is and what love can look like, because love would never look like you not saying it to me. And but in the action of it, despite you not saying it, because it's more important. It is more important, the action of it. And another thing that I learned is I always knew that words mattered, but the understanding of like the want. I never looked at wanting something from a place of lack. Because in my mind, want just meant if I want it, I'm gonna go get it. And instead of, focusing that energy on I am going to obtain that thing because I am someone who has that thing, instead of being like I want. So I am grateful for that, because I'm gonna make a TikTok.
I'ma like it and share.
I was
what up?
I was sitting with my son. I had to separate him and his sister because they were starting to fight, and I was like, "That's not very loving." But I had him stand next to the desk while we were doing this, which is one of the reasons I wasn't talking so much. But I wanted to ask him, because it was funny. He was listening to Queenie talk, and he was like, he said something. So I was like, you know what? Why don't you go ahead and tell him what you said? And what did you say when you were standing right there?
Don't look at me, bro.
Don't look at me, bro.
What did you say love is?
Come on, Zach. Right.
Right.
What did you say love is?
Tell us, sugar. It's okay. Don't be ashamed of the camera, baby. You
don't be shy. Come on. You talk all the time.
I know, right?
You was on my podcast and you was speaking.
Yeah. It's the same people. You want to tell them what you said love?
I mean, I wasn't here. You want me to cut the camera on?
I'll put you down, all right? Oh, now you doing it? Tell them.
And
you get down. They can't see you. Oh, you so small. Where is it?
Now 2 people. Are you
kidding? We're trying to let you talk. Go ahead and talk. We want to hear it.
Wait, that way you don't see them.
We still here.
What did you say love is?
Right where I'm pointing at.
All right. So you wanted to say that love is in the heart. I was like,
okay. All right. Love is in the heart. Yeah, for sure.
So I mean, for my gratitude, I am thankful for everybody speaking. Y'all hit on pretty much everything I learned. So like right down the list, I was like, all right, cool. But at the same time,
boom, boom.
Being able to sit here and discuss the different types of love, how love feels to different people, of things that can be considered as love, that's kind of the information I wanted to get out because, like I said, everybody loves differently, and we've seen people love differently. And one of the questions I wanted to ask earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt because it was flowing perfectly, was the way that people show love. Do you think that's a reflection of how they want love shown to them?
Absolutely.
Me too.
Absolutely.
Yes and no.
I agree.
Yes and no.
If they understand.
Because a lot of times the right, that's the yes and the no. Well, the part of being in a level of ignorance, desiring something that you don't understand. Because a lot of times people desire a type of love, and when they get it, they ain't ready for that type of love because the love they had in their mind wasn't the same love that they get ready to experience. Because that love that they get ready to experience is the thing that they've asked for. It's fully evolved.
Right.
If it's not fully evolved, it's in its evolution stage. And what happens to that person that's that person individual just a seed, whether it's a man or woman? What happens if it's just a seed? So yeah, it could be both. To me, it's both.
Okay. All right. And with that, I'm going to do closing. I appreciate everybody who was on. Y'all all had major insight. Major insight. I was sitting here, I was just like, I am going to watch this probably 2-3 more times because I'm not going to lie. As we were doing this, I could feel the love flowing through. And then I could feel the passion of what everybody was saying. So that kind of showed a lot of their wholesomeness. And due to the fact that it was something that happened to them, or they strongly believe in that passion ultimately. So I was just like, ooh, so it's like there were things that were being said. I got glimpses of it because I'm still kind of overwhelmed with the energy that was flowing. It was crazy. So I got to watch this like 2-3 more times just so I can actually make proper notes because that was a lot of information.
You gotta be kidding me, bro.
I am dead serious, bro.
You gotta be kidding me, bro. But nobody kidding you, bro.
I appreciate everybody. Hey, stay on right after this. You know, we got to do our little thanky thing.
Oh, come on, boy.
Already.
Why you got
You don't do that. You're so strong.
Hey, you can't beat it.
The pain you still hold on. Okay. Life hits hard, but you rise. I see hope.